Hi, this is Scott Marlin. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install Windows 7 operating system. I'll be doing this within VMware, so if you don't have a copy of that, if you want to kind of test this out before you do it on a real machine, you can do that. You can download Windows 7 ISO file for free. It doesn't activate, but it'll let you at least run through the steps to kind of see what you're doing if you don't want to do it, for your very first time on a real machine. So, using VMware, we have to create a new machine. This kind of sets up the hard drive space that allows us to install a Windows operating system. Most of this you can just kind of click through, but right here you want to make sure that you select the ISO file. So, the one I'm using is an enterprise version of Windows 7. Don't worry about putting in a product key. Like I said, this won't validate, but it's still good for 30 days. And since I'm working on a laptop, I'm going to shrink that size down just a little bit. Alright, so that kind of shows the stats for it. 40 gigs of hard drive space. I'm allocating 1 gig of RAM to it. I think usually you want to have at least 2 gigs of RAM for Windows 7, but this seems to work alright, at least for a demonstration. Once you hit that finish button, VMware actually does most of the work for you. So I'll be pausing periodically just to try to keep the video short. I won't skip any steps in the video, but I might pause it when it gets into the lengthier steps. And so what VMware is doing right now is just kind of prepping to install Windows 7. It hasn't actually started it yet. It's just kind of formatting my hard drive to utilize that space. And it looks like this is going to take a couple of minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'll come back and restart it once this is completed and we move on to the next step. For a little bit of continuity, I wanted to show it finishing this step, so I went ahead and resumed the recording here, so you can see this step finishes. And it should automatically roll into starting up the install for Windows 7. So you can see it's getting started on that now. So I'll pause it and come back in once it's completed this step. Alright, so just finished that step, and it should start getting to the point where it asks me for setup information. It's pretty typical, the first time you install an operating system, it'll have you set up some basic settings. Alright, so this will probably take a couple of minutes getting through these, but I'm going to try to keep the recording going. Hopefully this video won't get too long. You can actually see the progress bar down here. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and pause again. I'll try to keep this video as short as possible. So that expanding Windows files just completed. Should be moving on. The features and updates shouldn't take quite as long. I think that took just about 10 minutes for expanding Windows files alone. Once it gets everything installed, it does need to restart. Hopefully this won't take very long either. So while it boots back up, I'm going to pause. I'll come back as soon as it gets started up here. Alright, so it finished rebooting. A couple things I didn't show in the video here. It'll automatically configure your registry and add new values as needed. And then we'll also go through, a little extra setup process of just checking all the services to make sure they're installed properly and able to run once Windows actually boots. So it completed that, looks like it completed the install, had to do another reboot. I think that process took about another 10-15 minutes. I think it's about 10 minutes. So once it gets booted, we'll come back and see where we're at. So it actually booted right up, straight and logged in. I realized that there's a network here, so I'm just going to set it up as a public network. And for the most part, that's pretty much all you really need to do. As long as it's connected to a network, it'll automatically populate the date and time. You can go in and change that for location or daylight savings time and stuff like that. But for the most part, that is your Windows 7 install. And the reason it has my name, well, the name I used for my actual computer, it just auto-populated it for this one. It's kind of pulling from the other one, I guess. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me some comments. And I'll see you in my next video.